And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. As we start, as Odie pointed out to me, it's Tuesday already. Boy, they are really rolling. Today is the 12th of December. Puts us not far away, does it? Old St. Nick is right around the corner. Right now, it's cold. It's just burr weather. It's been between 28 and 29. We're sitting at 29 right now at Key Field in Meridian. Could be cooler where you are this morning. Arlene, how are you? Miss Dorothy? Conehatta checking in at 29 degrees this morning. Well, that is a chiller, isn't it? Definitely. If you have the old fireplace, I certainly hope you didn't run out of logs overnight. As we go to Meridian Honda radar, we pull this up just to take a look. All clear in Mississippi. A little bit of fog, as we'll see around Hot Springs, Conway, Arkansas, and all to the east there, just northeast of Macon, Georgia. Good bit of fog. And, well, north of Birmingham, northeast of there toward Gadsden, a little bit of fog this morning. So if you're heading in those directions, you'll want to be careful. Always use caution in those areas. Cold, cold, cold. All right, let's get a good word. Let's put a smile and be able to face the day. Let's go to Collinsville to get that message from Collinsville First Baptist.
Have you ever known someone who lived through the Great Depression of the 1920s and 30s? The Great Depression began on Thursday, October 24th, 1929, when the stock market crashed, causing banks, farms, and businesses to fail. This crisis lasted for 10 years, causing great suffering throughout our country and many parts of the world. The economy was in shambles, and this great crisis caused many to feel hopeless as far as their futures were concerned. Tens of millions of people were hungry and didn't know how or if things would get better. If someone lived through that time, they would likely remember how hopeless it seemed. In Ephesians 2:11-13, the Apostle Paul calls on the Gentile believers to remember how their life was without Christ. He says in verse 12, "Remember that at that time you were separate from Christ, excluded from citizenship in Israel, and foreigners to the covenants of the promise, without hope and without God in the world." When we were without Christ, we were in a hopeless state with all kinds of consequences both in this life and in the life to come. But in verse 13 it says, "But now in Christ Jesus, you who once were far away have been brought near through the blood of Christ." We should always remember what it meant to be lost and how hopeless our lives were until we were brought near to God through Jesus Christ when we believed and put our faith in Him. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, Mowdy Cabinetry, and Parker Marketing Insurance Advisors. Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Odie was just telling me the Lord works in mysterious ways. We were just talking about Anthony Chancellor's daddy, and then, boom, I get a text from him. That is weird. We're going to see what he has to say here in a minute. As we look around, we're seeing it's warm in Florida. Don checking in at 55 degrees there in Florida. A little bit warmer than it is here. We see some 28s and a lot of 29s floating around the area where you are waking up this morning. I guess I've never put a lot of thought into this or put arithmetic to it, but as we start looking at national surveys of what the National American does, and I can see this could happen before you know it. What do you spend on your pet per year, on average? It says that the average American spends about $4,800 a year on their pet animal, whether it's a dog or a kitty cat, whatever it would be. The average American spends about $700 a year on food for them. That's pretty average there. Extra items. Say you pick up a toy or you pick up a little outfit for your dog. Roughly $600. But the most of all expensive thing that you do for your pet is roughly about $1,300 a year in vet bills. They say that's the highest part there. But y'all know how it is. They become your best friend. Doesn't matter because you love them. You can't put a price on some things, and I do see how that is. They know you better than most folks. Oh, don't be bashful. If you don't have one, find out about why everybody loves their pet. More jobs are being cut. The place that makes Play-Doh, that makes Monopoly, 20% of the workforce is being cut. 1,100 jobs are going away. That's on top of the 800 already slashed. So that means 2,000 going away. Why is the sales slumping in that? I don't know. Is it more people are going to digital games and not playing board games like Monopoly? It could be in Play-Doh. That's quite possible. I haven't read the theory of why sales are down in that, but more jobs gone away. We hate to see that. Harvard, boy, there's been some controversy over this, and they will make the announcement today, but everything leads that the president of Harvard will remain after she made the anti-Israel remarks. So bad that they've already lost $1 billion in donations to Harvard. $1 billion. But yet, they still plan to keep her, it looks like. That's what the late evening talks are indicating. We'll find out later today what they do. We need a grip. We need a grip. I hear this a lot when I'm out and about of these major chain stores. I think I noticed Lowe's doing this recently to where it was hard to even find one checkout counter of a human being there, that the self-checkout line is just overtaking everything. Well, you've seen it in Walmart. You're even seeing it in Dollar General now. I used one the other day in a Dollar General that I was in, and then I realized it wouldn't take any cash, and I had to dig around and try to find a card to pay for, I think it was $2.30. Have mercy. But what are stores learning? Shoplifting is up majorly, and they're starting to ease back on this. Somebody better call Lowe's and tell them. They even said Walmart was cutting back. I haven't noticed that. It's just cheaper for them and no insurance for the employee, and, well, it does away with the employee. But thieves are smart, and as they try to outsmart them, they're stealing more and more. We'll see what becomes of it there. Do you remember the priest we talked about yesterday morning that was murdered? More and more is coming out about this. Now, they don't know what happened, but he called 911 and reported a break-in. After police got there, he was found laying on the floor. They have not put a connection as to why someone would have done this, but they are now looking in his past. He was at it was Omaha. It was where he was originally at. He was moved to Nebraska. He had to leave his previous church for stealing $125,000. He was on probation, had to repay $40,000 of that to the church, and they moved him to another. Could there be more to the murder? We don't know. We'll see, but as details start to come out about that. Sometimes there's more to the story than meets the eye, isn't it? That even happens locally. A lot of times. The U.S. is sending a warship this morning as we see that a Norwegian flag tanker has been hit by a cruise missile. The U.S. will respond and send one of our warships there to protect these vessels as they travel back and forth. Always something going on somewhere else, isn't it? If I'm saying this right, Zelensky. Yeah, we know that name a lot because we've given his country a lot of money. He's still trying to save the $44 billion in U.S. aid package. He's back begging the president again for more money. Again, I believe in helping countries that need help. I also believe in helping Americans who need help. $44 billion. How much is that out of your pocket? Think of what we've already given them. It's getting tough out there, y'all. But yet our veterans and police officers go without.
Well, we borrow money from China.
Yeah, and we borrow money from China to give it to somebody else. You're right on that. There's a word I'm thinking of. It'll come to me later. Yeah. We have two parents that are going to be charged. Why? A 4-year-old found a gun under her bed. The child is left paralyzed now. They're going to be charged for the shooting. Awful, isn't it? Gives you the heebie-jeebies thinking about something like that. Now, what's happened to America when the mob can't go shake somebody down for money that they're owed? And I say that jokingly. The mob had somebody that owed them $86,000. They went to shake him down to get their money. He's having to plead guilty in court now for trying to get his own money. He punched the restaurant. can't make this stuff up. You really can't. You borrow from the mob, it's not good. You should never do that. But they're in trial now, being sued for punching someone for trying to cut. Man, how crime has changed in America. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Let's see here. I bring up this next story because I just don't see it much, and it's so weird to even say. The second gentleman. He's actually made the news again. I'd forgotten he even existed because no one even talks about Kamala all that much. But they were sighted together, and I just thought I'd bring up his name since, well, I hadn't heard it in a while. The second husband. Does that not just really sound strange to say? It does. Lots of comments there. Someone in power can be easily blackmailed, as Debbie points out. They truthfully can. And you're right, Susan, we do need to clean our doorsteps. Randy talks about that taxpayer money. Now, we don't know why, and this was in Spain is where this was brought up, but what can happen in Spain can happen in America, and I bring this up just to make a point here. A 71-year-old went to get his car washed, an automatic one at one point there, where you put your car in, it goes through the tracks. They don't know whether he got out of the car when it started and decided to go back or was in the car wash when he got out. He was crushed to death inside as the tumblers move. He was found at the end of it. They don't know why he wasn't in the car. Never, ever get out of your car in a car wash, no matter what's happening. Don't do it. We don't know much more than that. Oakland, California. We send our hearts, we send our prayers there as a security guard was killed at a 7-Eleven trying to make his living. Someone went to rob the store and he was killed by him. Makes me sad, doesn't it, you? How someone can take a life for something worldly. What good is a candy bar and $50 going to do you after taking somebody's life? But they do it continuously every day. Now, let's talk about whiny babies for a moment. If you do wrong, and you do seriously wrong, you're sent to jail. Chrisley knows best. He's in jail right now along with his wife. They had a scheme going, and well, they were busted in that and went to jail. They're claiming that the daughter, and she's got her own TV show, if I'm not mistaken now, and she's big on the internet, sharing pictures of herself and this, that, but she's been sent a photo by a fellow cellmate demanding $2,600, and it sent a picture of her dad to her. He's complaining that the food is rotten and there's rats and other things in the Florida prison that he's at. Prison ain't nice. There's nothing about it. If it was nice, everybody would want to be there. But let's get down to the level on this. Y'all all know that he's not in a regular prison. This is a more laid-back one. Imagine if he was in a real prison to where, well, y'all know where I'm going with that. But he's complaining. Now, the picture may have been sent to the daughter. I'm not sure. That probably did happen. He's just trying to get a little extra bling-bling.
Well, that's all he wanted.
Lord have mercy. But the key thing is, you're not supposed to have a cell phone in prison. Couldn't that be easily traced back in a raid done on a prison cell? That's just my 2 cents and thoughts on that.
Play full of fun this season with gifts and accessories from Al's Garden and Gift. The spirit of Christmas shines in the Christmas shop with ornate and novelty-themed trees, snow globes, nativity sets, garland, ornaments, and more. Now 50% off. Unique accessories, gourmet foods, gift baskets, and certificates are perfect for holiday parties and gifts. Add color outdoors with beautiful blooming winter flowers. And it's the perfect time to plant fruit trees and shrubs too. Magical charm and beauty await your home this wonderful season. Merry Christmas from Al's Garden and Gift.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our community efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
Welcome back. What a great day to have some logs. I love backing up to a fire. It just really warms you up there. Record highs and record lows today. Let's get into your forecast.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Back in 49, we had a high of 80 today. Anybody remember 1962? 8 degrees in Mississippi. Man, I can feel that cold from 1962 right now. That was a cold day. As we look forward today, we're going to get 59 is what we'll see. 59 to 60, that barrier there. Not much difference in between here and Columbus. Even west, we will hit 61 by the river and due south about the same it is in the Meridian area at 59 all the way towards the coast. Toward Bamaland, we'll see 57 in Demopolis. We should see around 58 there in Livingston. As we go to Birmingham, cooler, 56 to the south. We'll see areas of 57 around Montgomery, Alabama today. As we glance across the nation, we're starting to see a little bit of a warming trend as we'll see 60s for the remainder of the week, but nighttime lows still into the 30s this week as we head toward the weekend. Out to our west, we're starting to see temperatures rise from Nevada and areas toward Texas. As we look at that forecast today, the high today, 59, as we pointed out. Tonight, maybe not as cold as it was last night. We're down to 34 tonight as we're in the 20s this morning. By midweek, we're at 59. We'll see 61 on Thursday for the parade in Marion. Nighttime low about 39, so bundle up as dark rolls in. 59 on Friday is what we see, and by the weekend we got a slight smidgen of chance of rain on Saturday, and by Sunday up to a 30% chance of showers. That takes us all the way through Monday there as we make our way toward the 19th, and as we get down towards the night before Christmas, we could see Santa traveling in some rain. A 50% chance of showers on Christmas Eve, but the high is going to be 64. Nighttime low is 47, so no bad weather, no snow or ice or anything like that. Christmas Day rolls in with a 60% chance of rain. That's what it's being forecast. High 63, nighttime low of about 46 as well. Not much of a change there from Christmas Eve all the way through the 26th. We'll watch that forecast closely as Santa Claus gets close. So what's happening today with the fishing? Well, let's find out about that. Chet's Paint and Body tells us the best time to be fishing today is going to be around 11:30. You can fish to about 1:30. Should be good. Wind's going to become east-northeast around 5 this morning. Not bad at all. Now, as we look at what's happening on the deer side of things, we head out to Collinsville Meats. What's happening? Looks like your first major time is going to be at 10:40 this morning to about 12:40. So let's just say you need to be there by 10 o'clock and hunt till about 1. Should be the best time there. Again, wind's going to be calm, northeast around 5 this morning. Not bad at all. Again, right now, let me double check to make sure our temperature hadn't changed. We've been sitting at 28, 29, kind of back and forth this morning as the temperatures were changing. Let's double check here. I have to check in the right place, don't I? Yeah, still 29 at Keyfield and Meridian. 1962, it snowed deep, too. It did, Richard. Appreciate that. Also, we had another one in, I believe, somewhere, was it 64? I've always been told. I've seen pictures. 28 in Philadelphia. We're seeing in Hero, Mississippi, 27 degrees this morning. There we go. Odie's getting prepared for the show. We invite you back. We'll have a special guest, Sheriff's Department, coming in this morning. Isn't that right? Isn't it today? Thursday. No, Thursday.
Yeah.
So we may not have anybody today. I'll have to double check. Okay. All on the way with Scotty Ray and Odie. Good morning to you. We'll see you bright and early at 7.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.